Hi everyone, Marisa Stone here with Simon Says Social and the Systems Lounge. And I want to welcome you today to the 2018 Premier International Women's Business Systems Virtual Summit, where you get to learn all about the systems that our speakers are using to get things done. And I am so stoked to have Stephanie Liu here today. She is going to talk with us all about Lights, Camera, Live. And I'm super excited to have this conversation because for all of you out there who've been just terrified to go on Facebook Live, Stephanie is your go-to girl. So let me tell you a little bit about Stephanie. Stephanie Liu is one of the most sought-after speakers on Facebook Live video. She's known for her dynamic stage presence, and as you can see behind her, it's fantastic, and cutting-edge Facebook engagement tactics. As an ad agency veteran, Stephanie has helped Fortune 500 companies and small businesses truly skip through that guesswork that all of us struggle with on how to build your brand online with social media. Now, Stephanie coaches small business owners on how to leverage live video inside their own business. So you may know Stephanie because she's spoken at Interactive Day in San Diego, Social Media Day San Diego, Social Video Con, and now obviously on the 2018 Premier International Women's Business Systems Virtual Summit. Stephanie, I am so excited to have you here. Welcome to the summit.
Thank you so much, Marisa. Very honored to be here and super excited to get everyone pumped and ready to go in terms of leveraging live video to build their bottom line and their brand. So let's do it.
Let's do this. Okay. So for those who don't know, or maybe they're putting their blinders up, let's begin at the beginning. What in the world is Facebook Live?
Okay, so everyone is probably very familiar with how to upload a video to Facebook. And the way that I like to describe Facebook Live is Total Request Live. Now that's a throwback to MTV. I hope you guys remember that. But that was when Carson Daly would be on MTV TRL and say, like, if you guys have a song that you're interested in, go ahead and call in now, and then we'll go ahead and play that song live for you in that moment. And that's basically what Facebook Live is. You're creating this live broadcast that people can engage with you on their mobile devices, so on their smartphones or on their desktop, but you can engage with them in real time, see their comments, and deliver content or just connect with your audience that way.
Yeah, and I love that about it because that's what it's all about, building those relationships. And when they can't see you in person, they can see you on live.
That's very true. And it's so much easier to just hop on the camera instead of like hopping in the car, getting dressed, getting, like fighting traffic. When like for me, I just flip a switch and it's like, hey, Marisa.
That's right. Here we are. Let's talk. Okay. So let's apply this to entrepreneurship for a minute. Why in the world should entrepreneurs be concerned with doing Facebook Lives?
Well, one of the great things about Facebook Live is that it gives you the ability to really build that know, like, and trust factor with your audience because they're starting to see you behind the scenes versus an ad. You're also able to build your relationship with your audience because if they have a question, they could type it in the comments and get your feedback in real time. So once they start to realize like, oh my gosh, I could get a hold of Marisa right now, they're going to want more of that. They're going to have all the little happy dopamine neurotransmitters come down. They're like, oh, I really like this. And the more that they see you, the better it is for you in terms of generating awareness for your business.
Yeah, which is huge today, right? Because that's what it's all about. That's what we're all struggling to do is get ourselves out there. Facebook Live is a great way to do that. Okay.
Very true.
What are we truly talking about when we say that Facebook Live allows us to do what you call steal the spotlight?
Yeah, okay. So with Facebook Live, there are a number of ways that you can go live. You can go live through your mobile device, which majority of people do. Yeah. Or you could go live on your desktop. You could use a third-party platform. You might be familiar with other live streaming platforms like BeLive, OBS, Ecamm. But when I say that I want you to steal the spotlight, it's the fact that I want you to stand out from the sea of sameness. Yes, everyone has the ability to go live, but how you deliver your content and how you capture your audience's attention is going to be a very different way in stealing the spotlight because let's be honest, when you see someone just going live on their mobile device, you're like, okay, I've seen that before.
Right.
But if Marissa were to jump on Facebook Live and have a bottom third graphic, an intro and an outro video, you're like, wait a second, this looks really professional. I've never seen this before. And so when you're able to pattern interrupt your audience and say like, wait a second, you want to pay attention to this, you're like, oh, okay, you have me, you have my undivided attention.
Yeah. Yeah. And we have 4 seconds in our world today. The latest research gives us 4 seconds, not 7.
Yeah.
Capture people's attention. And so what I'm hearing you say is you can utilize some of these other platforms to do just that.
Yeah. I mean, and you honestly, you could still go live on your mobile device. There's different tips and tricks that you can do to just make your live streams stand out from everyone else.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know we're going to dive deeper into that in the next interview. So let's talk for a minute about what going live actually does for my ability to reach my target market. So I know there's a lot of information out there about really getting targeted about the people that you want to work with and really, do everything you can to reach out to that niche. How does Facebook Live help me do that?
Of course. Okay. So with Facebook Live, because it lives on that same platform, you could leverage advertising. So the Facebook ads. What I could do is that with my best Facebook Live that has like hundreds of engagement and hundreds of comments, I could retarget that Facebook Live to prospective clients. So let's say people that hit my website, people that landed on my sales page, folks that are on my email list, and that helps me stay top of mind and tip of tongue. So in terms of your question, yeah, that's a no-brainer right there.
So are that many people really watching these lives? Like, what are the stats on this?
Oh my God. Okay. So I had to write this down too, just because the stats are always changing, but I think you're really going to love this. So the average Facebook Live video gets 10 times more engagement than any other type of Facebook post. That's just a regular text post or a link or just uploaded videos. Live video will always get more engagement. And it makes sense because if I say your name on air, you're like, oh, I can kind of control this, right? And you get a lot more interested in it. But one of the most surprising stats that I read was that 67% of live video viewers are more likely, 67% are more likely to buy from you after watching a live video versus video on demand.
Wow.
And that's just a testament to why the know, like, and trust factor works so much in live video, because now they're like, okay, cool, I could see her content, I could see how professional she is, and she's doing something new that's cutting edge. So that's always helpful.
Yeah.
And what we're also finding, let me go ahead and pull this up for you real quick, is that the average time spent for video on desktop is 34 minutes for live video versus 2.6 minutes for video on demand.
Wow.
That means you could go live for 34 minutes and still have an audience that's hooked into what you're talking about right then and there.
Wow. Wow. I'm kind of blown away by those stats. Like, I knew it was high, but I didn't realize it was that high.
Oh yeah. It's funny because I'll have people, they're like, I only went live for 5 minutes, but the recommended time is for you to go live at least 20 minutes. That way Facebook's algorithm can start building your audience for you. They're like, okay, cool. Like, Marissa's the type of person that's going to watch a Facebook Live. I want to make sure that I have time to let her know, because how often do you guys check Facebook?
Right.
Probably, like, let's say at least once every hour, right?
Right.
And so it's just like, if you get a notification that somebody goes live, you're like, okay, I kind of want to see this. I want to check this out.
Yeah.
And if Marissa were to automatically say your name,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, cool, she's paying attention to me. So I'm going to follow along with what she's teaching today or what she's demoing today. And if I have a question, I know that she's going to answer it. So it makes absolute sense.
Absolute sense. Totally does. Totally does. Okay. So let's talk about credibility. And you've kind of alluded a little bit to this, but how does going live on my Facebook page and or in my group impact my credibility?
Okay, great. So let's talk about social proof. Social proof is basically the psychological heuristic is that if someone is engaging with your content, then you probably have authority in your field about the topic that you're talking about. And so when you go live on your business page and you're seeing other people engaging with you, people are like, okay, great, she knows what she's talking about. if you go live in your group, same thing happens because they realize that they could rely on you. They could talk to you. You're going to give them the cutting edge about what's happening. You could just wait to do a blog post, but how many people are reading a blog post right now, right? Most people are more willing to go ahead and watch a live video. And by the time you're even done doing a live video, you could still add captions, right? So if I'm laying in bed, which let's be honest, I do this all the time with my daughter. I'm laying with my daughter. She's taking her nap, but I could sit there and I could read what's going on in terms of the captions. So
yeah, totally. Wow. Okay. So how do I choose? I mean, there's a lot of topics out there. How in the world do I choose what I want to talk about when it comes to my Facebook Lives? Like, how do I even begin that?
Where do you even get started? Okay. This is my favorite trick. It really starts off with just getting a piece of paper, right? Fold it in half.
Guys.
I know. Old-fashioned paper and pen. Fold it in half, right? And then on the left side, you're going to put your frequently asked questions.
Okay.
And then on the right-hand side, you're going to put your should ask questions. So let's say for your top 10 frequently asked questions, these are questions that clients are emailing you about. These are questions that people are asking you in your Facebook group or on your business page. So for me, people will always say, should I go live on my Facebook business page or my Facebook group, right? So that could be a whole episode right then and there. And then on the should ask questions, it's questions that people should be asking about your product, your business, or your service that they haven't even thought of yet because they're not the subject matter expert because you are, right? So while most people are asking me about which pages they should go live on, they really should be asking, well, how can I deliver content in a way that's going to captivate, convince, and convert my audience, right? So you take that piece of paper, you write down the top 10 frequently asked questions, your top 10 should ask questions. And at that point, Marissa, you have 20 topics that you can talk about.
Nice.
Right?
That's that's a ton of content.
That is a ton of content. And I've actually had one student where she did that exercise and she said, holy crap, Stephanie, I think just by doing this, I could create a season 1 of Facebook Live episodes and then a season 2, but it's all building on top of each other. So if we were to do something like, let's say, the Systems Lounge, right? Like, what would be the first foundation that you need to do? That could be season 1. And then foundation number 2 is like, what's the next cog in the wheel that you have to do? But now they're binge watching your whole entire Facebook Live series.
Nice. Nice. I love that. I absolutely love that. So let's talk for a moment. I know a lot of people really struggle with whether or not they should script things. They get all weirded out. They get all concerned. Oh my gosh, what if I stumble over my words? Should you be scripting your Facebook Live sessions or should you really just kind of go with a bullet pointed list and go live?
The latter for sure. And it makes it a lot easier because you could still be yourself and it comes off more natural versus scripted.
Yeah.
And I say this because have you ever watched the movie Stepford Wives?
Yes.
Where they're all perfect and everything was enunciated correctly. Their hair is perfectly coiffed. You're like, this is kind of weird.
Yes,
this is kind of robotic, right? But if you're just yourself, it's going to work so much better. So just put together your bullet points in terms of these are the 3 things that you're going to learn in this Facebook Live episode. Give yourself some room to breathe and ad lib as much as you want to. I say that every live streamer is pretty much an improv actor at this point because you never know what's going to happen.
Right.
And you never know who's going to pop up on your Facebook Live. So if Marissa pops up, I might just be in my whole spiel, but I'm like, oh, Marissa, hey, but it makes it fun. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's TRL, like let's go back to the TRL example. Yes, it had a storyboard in terms of like how the show was going to open, the next segment, but they were always feeding off of the energy of their viewers. And that's definitely what you should take from live streaming.
Yeah. And that's not to say don't have some ideas written down that you want to discuss so you don't forget anything. That's not what we're talking about. You certainly want to make sure you're adding value there, right? You just don't.
Absolutely.
Okay, guys, today we're going to do da-da-da-da-da. And everything is actually scripted out from.
Yeah. I mean, and I've actually I've watched a Facebook Live where the person was live streaming. They were covering their topic, but they were going over the topic so fast because they were nervous, understandably.
Yep.
But let's say if Marissa, you're typing in the comments like, wait, can you go back? Can you elaborate? And 10 other people were saying that as well, but you just completely bypass them.
Yeah.
You've lost those 10 people because they're just like, well, what's the point of doing this if you're not going to answer our questions at all?
That totally makes sense, for sure. Okay, wow. I know we are going to be diving much deeper into the next segment on lights, camera, and live, how to truly steal the spotlight with Facebook Live. But is there anything else that we need to know right now just to kind of give us that boost to get us up and running?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so you're already part of the System Lounge Facebook group. So if you have any questions about live video, or if you even just want to practice, is it okay if they pop in there?
Totally. I would love that, actually. Yes.
Yeah. I would say if you guys are in the Facebook group, which you should be, introduce yourself, do a live video, and I'll jump in there and I'll leave a comment and I'll just respond back to you like, hey, that looks great. Your lighting is awesome. Anything that you need in terms of feedback, just go ahead and engage with the group, because that's where Marissa told us to all hang out.
That's right. Come there for the summit, because we definitely want to continue these conversations for sure. So Stephanie, wow, this has been amazing information, like I knew it would be. Before we let you go, how can people reach out to you if they just want to pick your brain because they're utterly confused or terrified, access some of your resources, or perhaps even work with you? How can they reach out to you?
You know what? Head on over to lightscameralive.com. That's where you can get all the latest and the greatest in terms of my freebies. I also have an Essentials for Facebook Live like workbook that you could grab right now. So you can head on over there. Any new episodes, those are going to be there. Upcoming events, all on that site. And yeah, just come hang out. I'm obviously one of those people where if you ask me a question, I will definitely answer.
Yeah, for sure. Guys, definitely click on the links below this video and take advantage of some of those resources that Stephanie is sharing with you now, because this is a crucial component inside your marketing and relationship building campaign in order to be able to reach out to your audience and steal that spotlight in your niche. Now, for those of you that are struggling with this and you really need to go a little bit deeper into this topic and figure out, how in the world do I do this, Stephanie? You are definitely going to want to stick around, because we are going to be taking a much deeper dive inside Lights Camera Live, how to steal the spotlight with Facebook Lives in just a few minutes. But in order to access that, you're going to have to click on the button below and grab that all access pass. And you can do that right below this video. And it'll take you directly over to that page where you can grab your all access pass. Now, the reason you're going to want to do that is because not only do you get all the live sessions that you're watching right now, lifetime access, guys, so you can do anything you want with this information, but you're also going to get those much deeper dives that I'm taking with every single one of our speakers. And I guarantee you, you are not going to want to miss that one. Stephanie, thank you so much for all you've shared today. This has been fabulous.
I love it. Thank you so much for having me.
Guys, we will see you inside the All Access Pass. Bye, everyone.